have not reviewed music in a long time, but this one is worth me coming out of retirement. For those that know me know that I love a certain set of music. I want to listen to things that make me feel good, things that make me reflect, things that challenge me, and things that make me feel closer to the God that I love. Now, with that being said, there's always some music that pops up that's kind of on the fence. I feel like the projects that Andy Mineo has dropped has a little bit of everything that I've named. From part 1 to part 2, this is the sword. Part 1 was the arrow. Y'all, let's talk about part 2. Part 2 has 7 tracks on it. I love even the titling of the first and second track. Almost ... Second track is there, but it starts with ... I love that. Finish it up. Close it up. Very nice. Next track is Friends. We got to get into that one. Yeah. None of My Business, which is one of my favorite ones. Crazy. Donuts is good. And Shame. Shame was an eye-opener, and if you follow God at all, at some point you have felt the way he feels in Shame. So let's start with track 1 and track 2. I'm kind of combining those reviews. So track 1 is called Almost. Track 2 is called There. So he letting us know he's still on his way there. So track 1 being Almost was just kind of like an intro. They're singing on it, and that guy was so good. What was his name? David James. My goodness, that was good. I have to look him up. But what I loved was the girl's voice, the harmony that came in right there on the end. Ooh, girl. I don't know who that was, but I love that harmony. That's just me. On the second track, which is called There, he references 2 things I want to point out. One, that he ain't sleeping. He said 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, he's still up. Man, how many of us can relate to this? Because there comes a time in folks' lives where you just don't have peace. To me, when I hear that, I hear the absence of peace. My heart goes out to anyone who's struggling with something like that, insomnia and all of that, all of those type of things. But we can definitely tell over the first album and this album that there's a certain peace that Andy is searching for, answers and truth that he is looking for. I am grateful, as I know anyone who's a true fan of his are also grateful that he's still searching in the right place. It sounds like he has not let God go, and that is something none of us would want for him. Something that I heard someone say is, how can God let things happen, bad things happen? And a response that I heard that I have found to be true is, bad things were going to happen in life anyway, because life is life, and life can sucker punch you sometimes. But when you have God with you, you at least have the support, the loving grace, the mercy, the Jesus you need to get through the tough times. So I'm just super grateful that he has not let go of the God that loves him. Second on this track, There. Can we get a shout out for Andy Mineo's wife? Yes, because when I hear he up 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning and all this soul searching he got going on, all I'm thinking is that he got a wife at home that's holding it down for him. He mentions her in this album. I love how every album he says something about her or his journey when it comes to relationships. But any artist who gives a shout out to their wife, who is creating balance, especially when they're in a point of soul searching and finding themselves in life and all of this stuff, y'all, having a solid wife is everything. Now, of course, I am a wife, so I'm a little biased here, but I know that it means a lot to have a support system, so shout out to the wife. Track 3 is called Friends. 3 things on this track. He brings up the fact that if you are only calling me whenever you need something, that means we are not friends. He talks about not hearing from folks in a while, and he also says that if you tell me I'm right all the time, real friends don't do that. Now, I agree and I disagree with that point. I do want to say, and not that I have to agree with him, but it's my video, so it's my perspective. So if some people just cannot bring themselves to say something to people that they think is going to hurt them, and some people just will not take that risk. If you want a friend like that, awesome. Me, I need friends that's going to keep me straight and can tell me the real. it sounds like Andy needs that too. Like he like, look, if you only popping up when you need something from me, if you want to take advantage of something I have, we ain't cool like that. We just can't be cool like that. So yeah, I agree. He says that your coworkers and your friends should not be the same thing. And he didn't say it in that way, but he says lately he finds that his coworkers have become more of his friends. Now, that is so not good. Now, some people go to work and their coworkers become their best friends every job they go to. Can I tell you that's not a good thing? It is not a good thing if your coworkers have become your friends, because that means every time you change jobs and the proximity grows between you and your friends, you will find yourself alone. So Andy is saying some of the people that were in his life that were supporting him and holding him down are not there anymore. Crap. That is not a good place to be in. No one wants to be in that place, but it's a reality and it happens. And he does an excellent job at sharing it. This Friends track is so good. It's definitely one of my top. If I had to give a top 3, I would say Friends is number 2. My number 1 track from this album is the first one, or is this next one, and that's None of My Business. Whoo! He said, that's none of my business. Oh, what they say about me. I find that if you really, really believe this in your heart, like you don't care what people say about you, and not in an angry way, right? Some people are like, I don't care what they say. You know, they all angry and nasty about it. If people get where they're angry with people and they just say they don't care, but really they care, you are not free. You still have issues. You're not free at all. But if you can get to where your heart is like, look, I wish the best for them, but whatever they got to say is dust to me. It's just dust, because they haven't earned enough or gained credibility with me to where their point is even valid at all. I don't care. Through this album, or through this song, he talks about, it's not my business what you think. It's only my business if I actually start caring about it. So the struggle is not to care or to care. Some personalities, you just feel like you got to care about everything everybody say. I pray freedom for you, because it is a life of freedom when somebody don't like you and you don't care what they think. Like, it's really the best. Man, though, when he throws a little bit of shade at whoever it is, been dating 10 years and they married a girl. Married a girl! The next track is called Crazy, and as soon as this song starts, it goes into a hymn older than anyone else. Anybody who's listening to this song is older than you. Standing in the need of prayer? Come on. I'm so curious to know if Andy said, I want this song on my album, or if the guy singing it, what was his name? Y'all, whoever this dude was singing this, I want to know, was it him who brought this song as a chorus, or if Andy-O had him put it on here. Andy Mineo had him put it on here, because the song is so old and it brought back so many memories. And the fact that a lot of the people that probably listen to his music wouldn't even recognize or remember this song as being like old school black church. Standing in the need of prayer. Standing in the need of prayer. This one of those we used to rock without no music, right? The keyboardist ain't got here, or the organist ain't got here yet. The drummer ain't got here yet. We rocking that. Standing in the need of prayer. He says a line in this song that talks about getting a private investigator, tracking an IP address, and showing up at a troll house. Did this happen, or was this just creative, songwriting? Because I'm like, did you show up at the troll house? Oh my goodness. We're praying that could go really bad. Y'all don't show up at troll houses. But oh my goodness, did he hire a PI? Did he get him? Somebody please interview this out of him. I need to know. Donuts. Okay, so Donuts was my least favorite song. Of course, it's excellent. If you like, especially that New York, Brooklyn type of swag, like hardcore old school swag. That's what it was. That's how it felt to me. But the dude that was on the track with him that was rapping, he did say a cuss word. And I know some of y'all thinking, what's the big deal? It was just the D word. But I got kids and we go hard for Andy Mineo's song. So now I gotta censor that song out. Oh. So every time we play it, I gotta like move past this song. But it was good. It was good. Okay, let me bring out a couple points about it. Andy says that 3 things always get you: death, taxes, and Jesus. It's funny because that category was just hilarious to me. I'm like, oh, Jesus coming for you. When we all know he's love, but that is just really, really funny. But he a warrior too. Don't get it twisted. Jesus did not play with the people. Like Andy Mineo ain't playing with us on this album. The last track is called Shame, and he talks about how shameful he feels for the person he is. He says that he wants folks to forgive him the way they are one day going to also need forgiveness. And he didn't ask for our forgiveness, but he says he hopes that he gets a grace from us, essentially, that we also are going to need in our life, because we're also not perfect. In the whole album, he also mentions that everyone's a crook. People just have a better job at hiding it. I don't know about that. Everyone knows everybody got their issues. I don't think that makes everybody a crook, but I understand what he's saying. My favorite part about this track, Shame, is the back half of it. It goes into almost like an anthem, a declaration, and saying, he washes away my sins. Jesus washes, he washes. And he goes in on this declaration. And that's what I mean when I say I love music that's going to uplift me. He doesn't just leave you in a place of destitute. You know, you're just destitute, you're upset because, gosh, you look up to him and he's doing, you know, he's so such a creative artist, and then all of a sudden, you know, he's down and feeling shameful. He shares that with us, and you don't know where to put that sometimes. You're like, I don't know how to deal with this unless you're in that period of your life going through it. Well, he goes on to give that declaration, and he picks it back up, and there's a charge. What I am praying is this is a charge in his life where he is like, Jesus washes away my sins. Everything I've done, everything I'm ashamed of, I know is covered. I know that I will find peace. And I love that this is how he finished this album out. Call me crazy, but it takes courage to be screaming Jesus in your album like that. And we know that there's been controversy at times with Reach, you know, some of the artists not being as out about Jesus in some albums versus others. Definitely not here to talk about that. But I love when it does happen. And that's what I'm going to talk about. The fact that he said, Jesus, yes, he does. Yes, he does. Come through for Jesus, Andy. Come through. Rating this album, I would give this album an 8.5, 9 out of 10. The first album, or the part 1 for this one, The Arrow, I loved more. That one is like a 9.5 to me. This one is like an 8.5, 9 to me. Not because both of them are not written well. We know Andy's a beast with the pen. It's not, to me, it's just how I feel. You know, everyone has their own perspective. For daily inspiration, check me out on Instagram at its_Priscilla B. Also on Twitter at It's Priscilla B. Hope to see you guys soon. And if you're interested in me doing any more album reviews and just saying my thoughts on this stuff, y'all let me know. This one was a new one for me. Don't consider myself a music guru, but I love what I love. So you guys have an awesome day.